Kia ora, and welcome to the first episode of the Upper Hutt City Library's mini podcast. In this podcast, we're going to have a chat with some of the people who work inside your library and see what they get up to every day. And trust me on this, it's more interesting than you might think. My name's Simon, and I'm the library's designer and general communications person, and I'll be taking you on this magical journey into the world of your public library. Thanks for doing the first podcast with me, Robyn.
The first one,
So first of all, what's your job here? What do you do?
My job is called Access and Content Assistant. So I look after the processing and mending of books. It's basically the ins and outs of the books. So when they first come in, a lot of them are already pre-processed, shelf ready, but there are some things that need to be doctored up a wee bit.
Yeah.
They need to be recovered, they need to be stickered, put in boxes, that kind of thing.
So when you say shelf ready, is there quite a lot of work that happens to a book before it goes, compared to a book you've got on your bookshelf at home to one in the library? What's in there?
Yeah, the ones that we get, we need to have them covered for longevity of them. Sometimes they need extra taping in them to keep them whole. They've got to survive shelf life, bus life, being carried out in bags, so they do get broken quite a bit, torn.
And do you have quite a bit of like special equipment that you use, or is it just sellotape and scissors?
It's not just sellotape, but we have special tapes that they last a lot longer than ordinary tapes, and often they bend as well.
Yeah.
Others just crack, and disintegrate on us. So no, we do have special tapes, special glues, special pens. Of course, sharp scissors.
Yeah.
Need really good pointy scissors, and they're valuable. They're better than your household scissors. They are valuable, and people do often try to borrow them from me, but they can't have them. Anyway.
So what do you use the pen for?
Writing on discs.
All right.
A lot of pens can eat into the surface of discs.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And like, do you find you can save most damaged books, or?
I wouldn't say most. We can save a lot of books. Depends on the binding of them. Sometimes if the spines crack, there's not a lot you can do for them. Or it depends on what they are.
Yeah.
Pages fall out. Sometimes you put them in. Other times no.
Yeah.
When they've had spills on them, usually can't save them.
Yeah.
Stains and things. But when we cover them, they have, you can wipe them down at least.
Yeah. So what's the most common issue with a book that comes across your desk?
When they're coming in for mending, they have been wet. Is the most common thing.
Yeah,
I've
had that happen.
Quite unpleasant.
I've had that happen to me, definitely.
It's a bit of a guessing game what's on them.
Yeah.
It's just not that good.
Actually, that brings us to something that I've heard jokes about, but I never thought would really happen. We'll keep it a little bit vague, but I heard that yesterday Sue came across a book, an erotic piece of fiction that was extremely unpleasant.
Yes.
I mean, does that kind of thing happen a lot?
It does. Yes, it does. We find them on the shelves and find them in the bathrooms. And,
oh, man.
But, mostly it's water damage or tea.
Yeah, but you're always...
You just never know.
It with a bit of caution.
The darker stains. Oh, is that blood or is that chocolate drink? Not sure.
Yeah, and people are pretty... sometimes they're quite happy to just drop it through the book drop, if
That's
it's
right.
got a bit of blood
Oh,
on it.
no, it was like that when I got it. I think, no, it wasn't actually. Especially when it's damp still. No, you didn't get it like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the water damage one is tricky. I guess it's just, if you issue books, or if you borrow a lot of books, eventually one's going to get wet, and I guess you might end up having to pay for it.
That's right.
Or maybe it can be saved, but What about people fixing books themselves? Do lots of books come back?
Oh, yes, they do. Kind of wish people wouldn't do that. We've had books that have been mended with electrical tape, with bandage. That's not very good.
Yeah.
Cheap tapes.
Yeah. So
when they come back and they're upside down, the cover's fallen off, stick it back in. No, please don't do that. Pages out of alignment. But yes, people do mend their own, but we'd rather they didn't just say, because we don't want to charge people, if the book's just falling apart, and they do at the time.
So, I mean, generally the rule is don't try and fix anything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, we're happy to stick them back together if we can do that.
Yeah. And someone actually asked this question, but I'm interested as well. What do you think? I mean, if I've just got books at home that I want to keep in good condition and fix, is there some tape that I can get or stuff that I can do to look after my books or fix them? Glues?
You can get some good... there's a company in Auckland who sell small quantities of good tapes and good glues that you can get.
Yeah.
And they're quite cheap as well.
Yeah. Do you know the name of the company?
Book Protection Products.
Oh, cool.
Book Cover is their website.
Yeah. So it's I guess that's mainly just putting gluing pages back in and taping pages up.
They've got good book glues.
Is there stuff or something that you do behind the scenes that people will be surprised that happens in a library or has to be done?
I don't know that people realise, excuse me, how much we go through, how many books come in and go out. As many that come in, as that many have to go out as well. Yeah. So I'm constantly collecting books, boxing them up, getting ready to sell them or just disposing of them. It's something that you don't really see, but there's always a ton of books around waiting for a sale or waiting for schools to come in, for example. They come in, have a free shot at the children's books. Yeah. Just to pump up their libraries. Yeah,
that one's always a bit... I mean, I know for a fact that we do everything we can to on-sell books or... especially at book sales, the last day is usually free. Just take as much as you want or as you can. Yeah. So we really don't try to throw them out, which is always terrible. But in reality, a lot of people just don't want the books and they do get thrown out.
Yeah, they've done their time. They've got to go somewhere. We can't hang on to them.
Do we manage to sell quite a few books?
We do, actually. Yeah. We sell the majority of the books. Probably 3/4 of the books we put in a sale would be sold.
Yeah. And then and how much goes to schools? And
we're just sort of changing things so that schools are getting a really good crack at it. So they will take most of what we have on offer for them. Yeah. Yeah, so long as they're in good nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no one wants a ragged book, do they?
No. Yeah. And you've got quite a few volunteers that you work with?
Yes, I do. I've got 4 wonderful volunteers who come in and do the processing, getting them ready to go out in the library, do the extra little bits on them, and do mending and recovering. They're great, and they enjoy it too. It's important for them. They've got good relationships that they've established amongst themselves, and they're just wonderful people.
Yeah. And I mean, do they have quite skilled jobs to do, or is it quite,
Yeah, Paul does with his mending. In his past life, he's done a lot of crafty sort of jobs. He's quite handy with his hands, and so he's worked out all sorts of ways to fix books up that I never would have thought of doing. Yeah. Brought in all sorts of little bits and pieces that he uses to hold the book straight and whatever. Yeah. Lovely people.
Yeah, you've been with the library for quite a while.
I have. I have been here for a long time. I've been here 17 years now.
17 years, yeah.
And so, it's changed so much from the day I came in as a casual worker, you know. Just the way the whole place is run and the focus And obviously the clients, I've grown up with a lot of the little kids, you know, done different jobs with them and hosted a few things out there, crafty type sessions. It's been a lot of fun. It's a good place to be.
So in terms of how it's changed, what's the general direction that you feel libraries are headed?
The focus is different. It's not just books, and it's very community minded now. You know, it's open to everybody, more so than it ever was when I started. It was more just about readers then, but now it's not. I mean, when I first started, they brought in the first DVDs, which seems like forever ago. In fact, we had videos then as well.
Oh, cool.
And when the first
VHSs.
the first computers coming into the library, that sort of thing really changed who was coming in, and it was good. It's been great.
Were people really excited about those new technologies being in the library?
They were. Yes, they definitely were. They were quite costly, I believe, to provide. You know, over time, that's all changing too, isn't it?
Oh, cool.
As are we.
So if anybody can think of something that I've forgotten to ask Robyn or haven't thought of, just let us know. Maybe we'll catch up again, or just in the comments we can reply. Also, want to ask, are you a big reader, Robyn?
I am, yes. I do. I read a lot of garden type books. Don't actually do it so much.
Robyn gives me my my garden tips
occasionally.
But, I'm not that much of a gardener though.
But I like all sorts of books too. I love art books. I love architecture books as well. But I'll read all sorts of different fiction.
Anything good lately in the library?
Yes, I've just finished reading Made in Scotland, Billy Connolly's book, which was quite interesting. Gosh, what a terrible life he's had, but you know, good life too. Hard life in the beginning, but that was really interesting. I never would have thought. You know. And what else did I read? I read a non-fiction by one of the All Blacks, and he's now a landscape architect. Amazing. Mark Ellis.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, thanks so much, Robyn.
You're welcome.
All right, there we have it. Thanks to Robyn. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you've got any suggestions or feedback or questions, just get back to us on any of our social media channels, or however you prefer to get in touch with the library. Pop in, say hi, and catch us next time for more library chit chat.